the first class that we had out at Nyong Viet in the Vietnamese community, which our partner Linh Nguyen literally recruited 25, 30 people, and they just all came. No one knew one another, but with our the master teaching artist, and that group was a group of strangers at the beginning, became a family of friends.
I feel like the Vietnamese senior citizens that I've been working with have seen the program as a way to also reconnect with their roots, and a way to pass on their stories onto the next generation. I've learned so much from them as well, like culture through language. I mean, I'm teaching in Vietnamese, and so we're really learning from each other. A lot of them have expressed that this program has been a way for them to live life the way it should be lived. So taking joy in making art and doing those things that they can be happy doing, and doing it together as a community, and making friends and taking trips and learning about new things. And a lot of them are always saying, you're never too old to learn new things. And they know that, but it confirms it.
Often as we age, individuals become more and more isolated. They withdraw from society, and they need other people to re-engage their brains. When they come to the Bowers Treasure programs, they in fact re-engage.
There's been so much amazing and beautiful and thoughtful work that's come out of the class, but just last week, one of the students had pulled me aside to show me his still life, and we were reproducing Master's still lifes. So he had chosen one of Picasso, and it's a still life of a basket with fruit and a vase with flowers, and it's from his cubistic period, so it's really, very hard edge. And after class, he had brought me over, and he showed it to me and said, I started painting this, and all of a sudden the basket became a boat, and the fruit the fruit became people. And he said, this is my story, and this is the story of my people. And he was able to bring his immigrant story into the work, and it was such a breakthrough. And so he drew waves underneath, and it was just so beautiful because there's such a dark history. And he was able to really have that courage to bring it out into his work.
I learned how to use painting as a way to express myself and my feelings, and I enjoy it very much.
I'm really proud of everything that they've accomplished in the work, both in exploring art in general and exploring the world around them and what's happening within them as they develop in their work.
The treasure program at Bauer Museum is a wonderful program, not only for my husband, who is a student of the program, but also for me. And it's special because I think that this program teach my husband to speak up when he doesn't have the language to speak up in here. And through the program and through the technique he learns from the teacher, he can tell his story with colors. He can tell his feeling with colors. And that has been opened up the new door for my husband in here.
When I first started the treasures class, everything was just an experiment. I didn't know whether I had the talent for painting. But once I began, my feelings have completely changed. I realized that the treasures class not only helped to treat my depression and overcome the dreariness that was in my heart, but it also helped me to express my sentiments and mental burdens, to gradually externalize them, which is what they call art therapy. But unexpectedly, when I was in the class, I realized that her teaching method allowed for freedom for the students to be able to express their inner sentiments, no matter how skilled of an artist they were. My heart lightened, and I began to look back on my life. I wonder why there's feelings that still linger in my heart and mind. My feelings were released through the brush and the color palettes and captured on the white paper. I could see my feelings and my experiences of life.
We look at arts like something very extra that we don't even dream about. But when he started to using something very common in the household, like you see, just a piece of paper and then just a pencil, and he can jot down some here and there, and then suddenly I noticed that my husband doesn't express that much, but now suddenly he draw out some story on the paintings and asked, "What are you drawing? I never seen these things before. What are you doing?" And he started to tell me the story from his childhood. He started to tell me the story of his lifestyle, and even I am his wife. For years, I don't even know that. And I don't know why, I don't know how, but we start talking, and I start to understand my husband a little bit more, and I can see him in a different angle that I've never seen before.
Through the treasures classes, I realized my spirituality can be expressed through art. So it has become very interesting to me. I also realized that painting is a tool for healing. It helps to cure the depression and psychological pain in a person, those which exist not only in me, but also those I see and hear from the families of my friends. They have said that if it was not for the painting activities, they would have argued more. They would criticize each other more. Now they have a common direction to look forward to. Things became lighter in their heads, and they feel life's daily burdens are lifted.
To have a sense that he is a portion of this new land, and he is a participant instead of a person on the sideline. And that's also affect our family, because suddenly I feel like my husband had been in a cage for so long time, but now through arts he has wings and he can fly and he can express, and that is amazing, amazing happiness, not only for him but for me too. So thank you so much.
The students really do cherish their time together in class. They are celebrating their culture together, and they all have lived to see the war together, and they all persevered together, and now they're here and making art. So it's just been really a way to help them heal, and they're doing it together. And I think that's one of the lessons that we've all learned. You know, we all have our own very personal battles. You know, they've witnessed political battles after battle after battle, and you know, we're all dealing with our own internal battles as well.
After getting up in the morning, I took 4 different buses. I then walked to the Nyong Viet daily building. I brought food with me. I sat, rested a bit, and then went to class. Then it was another 4 bus trip to go home. The instructor asked me why I make the trip. Well, because I enjoyed the class so much that I took those bus trips. The truth is, I have always loved painting and drawing, music and poetry. When I was young, I didn't think I could paint. In school, I was at the bottom of the drawing class. Unbelievably, now I can paint.
I once had a dream that I could be an artist. But then I became busy with my other student programs. In Vietnam, my family was poor. I had no money to buy paint or papers, canvases, and things like that. But when I see the paintings, even the simple ones, everything in the color looks beautiful. Now that I am in the US and I am retired, I have time, and with the help and support offered by the Bowers Museum, I'm happy to join the class. Through painting, we learn about the other cultures. Through learning how to paint, we create confidence in ourselves. We learn we can use colors and drawing lines to express our deepest feelings and thoughts.
The museum gave us art accessories. When shoved sample to copy, our mind started to work. When the painting is finished, I showed them to my children, and they love it. I love to invite my friends to the class. It helped us so much. I think it is one way to treat the seniors of depression. If we did not have anything to do and joyful about in our old age, then we will become sick.
I want to express my gratitude to the organizers from Bowers Museum, as well as from Nyong Viet Daily, who helped give us the opportunity to find out more about arts. I wish that this program will continue so that others can also join, and to help other seniors like us have a relaxing, peaceful time and experience many joys which improve everyone's mental health.
Even we are old, we harmonize, we become attuned to each other, we chit-chat, we talk, and talk. So happy with my friends.
To have this kind of sacred space where they can be themselves and they can express to each other some of their hardships and express it through paint and art and be able to share this and open up with each other, all of a sudden they realize they're not alone and that they all are healing together. And that's really what this class has been. It is an art class, but I feel like it's really this journey to heal and just kind of discover oneself and where we stand in our world and how we're making sense of it all.
It takes maybe over 30 years so I can get into class. And the class is very good for me because it changed myself and it makes me feel more control with my life, and I feel like I get more self-confident. I think I can do everything I want. Bauer Museum is very good for we discover ourselves. Certainly, if you in the ocean of love. I lost my arm in 1972, and from that day I feel very lonely, and I am the guy who usually use right hand. When I lost the right arm, I have to learn how to practice to writing. And the writing, the first time very bad. I can't even read it, what I write. So it takes about maybe 1 or 2 months. I get used to it, and everything from the right arm move to the left arm. Attending the Bauer Museum class give me many different ways to discover a lot of things about myself and life.
What I really like about the Treasures program is that it helps seniors like me to regain our confidence. It also helps us discover talents and skills that we did not know we had. In the Treasures program, the instructor helps us unlock our talents and teach us how to be the best we can. Many of us have studied and learned art skill in school while in Vietnam. But because we had to go out and earn a living, we did not have time to learn how to use those skills. In the Treasures program, my instructor showed me how to express myself, my sentiments, and what I was thinking in my art. Now I could show my soul. In my painting, I wanted to show my background as a young man growing up in a war-torn country. I had to join the army to fight the communists. I spent many hard years doing this. I was put in prison for almost 6 years and suffered many mistreatments. My painting shows the roads that I traversed in the past, all the dangers and struggles. After resettlement in the U.S., I feel I have found the light of freedom, and the joy of living has returned. The Treasures art class has helped my soul return to its previous serenity. After many hard experiences in my life, including my military service in the Vietnam War and years in the re-education camp after the takeover of South Vietnam, I had many long periods of sadness and feeling hopeless. Much of this came from the feeling of defeat after the war. That all changed after coming to this country. Taking the Treasures classes has rejuvenated my soul and most importantly, helped me to see life in a more beautiful way.
I was walking with a friend, and her friend, tell her, oh, let's go to the Bowers Museum. I said, Bowers? Can I go along? So I hopped into my car, ran to Bowers to be on time. And that time they have watercolor class. And I sat down and I was kind of shaking a little bit. What I'm going to do? Miss My Tring just told me to calm down and just sit down and get some brush, a little bit of water, little bit paint, and just dab on my hibiscus. I was so proud of myself, and I keep on, painting the leaves and everything. That's how I get involved with the Bowers Museum program. Every Wednesday, I wake up in the morning, getting ready, get excited. I'm going to go and learn how to paint. It's the first time in my life. I think the painting kind of like a therapy. It keeps me focused. I forget about everything else. I become more observant. You know, I appreciate nature more. We feel like we are back to school. You know, we had so much fun. And we create friendship. We care about each other. And we giggle. I stay focused. I live in the moment. I live in the present. I think that is the most precious thing that I learned from my teacher and my class and my friends. The program really made my life richer. And I appreciate art more. I believe it helped with Alzheimer's disease. It helped us to lessen our burden on life. We are getting old. It is the time for us to enjoy our life. Our days are count, but we enjoyed every minute of it, and that is important.